Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Michael Ellis Show, where we learn from experts, small business owners, and online entrepreneurs all alike. And today we've got Brandon Duff on the show. Brandon Duff is the Mr. Monopoly Man, Mr. Digital Real Estate Man, and the boring passive income guy.
All those names are correct.
All those names are correct. So, how are you today, Brandon?
I am doing amazing, Michael. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad we are able to jump on your podcast. So I'm ready for a great show, man.
Yeah. So, just for the viewers at home, if people are seeing you for the first time, do you want to just give a backstory and how you got to the where you are now?
Yeah, definitely. How long do we have? I mean, that could be a 5-minute kind of brief summary, or if you want me to go a little bit more into detail, I can definitely do that too.
Just a quick, brief.
Definitely. So in 2019, I was a personal trainer, and I've been training for 7 years before that. So I really loved kind of helping people reach their fitness and their mindset goals, and making sure they're doing everything correctly in terms of fueling their body correctly, taking care of their body so they can work at peak performance. And all my clients were able to come in at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. I always wondered how they could do that. Like, how are they able to come in the middle of the day? Like, don't they have 9 to 5s? And I realized that a lot of them had rental properties. And so I was like, well, I should probably do that. So I started investing my money into real estate. And at the end of 2019, we ended up with 10 rental units. And my in-laws were like, hey, we're moving to Texas. We were in California at the time. And they said, we're leaving California. We're going to Texas. We got this amazing job offer, so we're going to go. And so my mother-in-law and my father-in-law went with them because they had children. We're like, well, we're not staying in California. We'll go with you. So I gave up my 6-figure business in fitness and handed it off to another trainer, and decided, you know what, I should probably stop exchanging time for money as a personal trainer. I should maybe look at online and really leverage the online space and use that to really make my recurring income and kind of like rental properties. So I started jumping in. I believe it was around 2020, the beginning of 2020. I went to Burning Man at the end of 2019, drove to Texas, and went to now live here. And so we got into the whole online space, started doing affiliate marketing, and then started leveraging software, started developing software, and now we have quite a bit of digital real estate, as I call it, as pretty much a way for people to collect recurring income or rent every single month, so that you're able to pay your bills, because cash flow is king. And if you're able to consistently have income coming in from your rents, in a sense, or subscriptions, then you're able to have everything paid for. So I've been doing that since 2020, and now it's 2021, and we're just taking off.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I actually didn't know that you moved to Texas because of your in-laws. So that is something that I've actually learned.
Oh, good. I'm glad we are all learning today.
We're all learning. So what was it like taking that jump to move to another state?
Yeah, very, very. It was like 1,500 miles away. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but I tend to kind of go all in on everything I do. So when I do that, I kind of take away my kind of all the shiny objects in a sense, and focus on one thing until I'm able to make it passive. So when I got into affiliate marketing, I went all in. I learned from read books like Expert Secrets and .com Secrets, and they didn't have Traffic Secrets at the time. But I read both those books, kind of learned how to do the whole online thing, kind of create my avatar in a sense, and went full in on that, and learned a lot. I think that if you are able to kind of focus on one thing, make it so you're able to make it passive, and then work on something else. That's kind of what I've always done. I've done it so that I can make it where I'm making a couple $1,000s a month. And then from there, I'll kind of turn it over in a sense to someone else who can build it out even more while I focus on something else. And even though I'm able to take away a little bit of my income, I'm buying back my time. So the move was, luckily for me, I had recurring income coming in from my real estate, but it was just enough to kind of get by. And so now being able to build these other streams of income really allows me to diversify my risk and allows me to make sure that I consistently have more cash flow coming in and constantly am able to make sure that I can reinvest my income to make more money.
Do you think so? You said earlier that you learned this from being around wealthy people as a part-time, as a personal trainer, where they had the time and freedom to be able to come in during the day and train from you, and you realize something's going, something's up here. I need to change something up. But why do you think that it's not common practice to become a natural born investor?
Because we're not really taught money in school. We're taught how to work a 9 to 5, and if you work harder, you'll make more money. And that's typically not true. I know a lot of people that work way harder than me and don't make nearly as much money as me. I'm pretty, I would say, not lazy, but I don't spend all my day working. Like, my first part of my day is typically waking up, going through my daily accelerator, getting some cardio in, having my breakfast, doing meditation, drinking water, making sure I'm fueling my body to its peak performance, making my list and schedule for the day. And by the time about 9 o'clock or so, 10 o'clock is when I really start. So I've already done like 4 hours of leveling up my mindset and leveling up my body before I even get into the workplace. And from there, I typically work maybe around 2, 3, and really do outreach or work on things that kind of need to be done right away. And if that's building, I'm actually building out a quiz funnel to kind of direct people in the way of where they should be based on kind of their talents. A lot of people don't know, like, if they're good at team building, or if they're better at things like affiliate marketing, or if they're more technical and they can get into software. So we're kind of directing with a quiz funnel to do that, and so that they understand like their strengths and focus on those strengths. And then the last part of my day is typically just more of concreting my business, making sure that it's a solid foundation, and focusing on my team that I built, making sure that they're taken care of, responding to emails, doing follow-up, that sort of thing. And then, around 6 or 7, I spend time with my family. I make sure that me and my wife are, not that we're not on good terms, but that she has enough emotional and the 7 love languages or 4 love languages, whatever. Making sure that her love language is taken care of. And so, if I'm able to do all those, I can put, in the middle, first my day, 100% into taking care of myself. And the second part of the day, I'm putting 100% of taking care of my business. And then in the end of the day, I'm 100% into taking care of my wife. So a lot of people think you need balance, but if you can't do 100%, but if you put your phone away at the end of the day, if you don't get distracted, then yeah, you can go in all 100% in whatever you're doing. You just make sure you don't have any distractions to pull you away from that. So I think that's kind of been my success, is just being able to kind of be blind, like almost blinded and focused on one thing at a time, and making sure I give it my all, and then pretty much take away all the distractions.
Cool. And they call the 9 to 5 the rat race.
Right.
And a lot of people come to online businesses in general, and affiliate marketing and other various means of creating money, but end up being in what you like to call a digital rat race.
Yeah.
How do people get stuck in that rut of, even when they're trying to leave one rat race, they end up in the next rat race?
Yeah. So we're in a digital age, and we've been in it for quite a while. But I think that a lot of people are so used to working a 9 to 5, so they continue that behavior onto the next thing and being online. With COVID, we've been all forced to kind of be online. So it's almost as if they are doing the same thing that they had been doing. And so they tend to focus on salaries, not even salaries, like one-time payments. They don't reinvest their income. When they make a little bit more income, they tend to spend it or buy more luxury things, like they upgrade their cars, they upgrade their house, they go out more, they flaunt more. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses, but that's typically what keeps people having to consistently really make more money, and they don't reinvest their income. I typically keep my expenses really low. Everything that I own is, in a sense, that's a big purchase, like a car or a house, is something I'm making money from. So for instance, I drive a little Prius. I had a BMW before, and I just didn't understand why I was driving from point A to point B in a BMW. When the gas goes up, I was paying 91 octane. I had to have higher insurance. I had to more maintenance on my car. And I was like, why am I paying so much money to go from the gym and back? So I turned that in. I got a Prius. I ended up paying that off right away. So I have no payment on that. And then I actually rent that out, and it brings me in almost $1,000 a month of just recurring income, because I really don't have to do anything with it. It just sits in front of my house, like most people do. Their cars just sit in their driveway, especially during this time, and they could be renting it out, and it makes me a good deal of money. I have real estate, so we buy rental properties, and that rental property is pretty much the tenants are paying down our debts, and they've actually are able to use the income from it to buy our dream house. And our dream house is actually due in a few months, 2 months from this recording. So I'm very excited about that. And then I'm looking at, different trends. A lot of people are getting into digital currencies right now. And there's even digital currencies like, I think it's called stablecoin, which is the equivalent of $1, and you can trade that in and trade it out depending on what you're looking to do. And it kind of works with inflation instead of against inflation. So it's I'm very new into it, so I'm definitely learning a lot. But I constantly am reducing my expenses, increasing my income, and then taking the difference and reinvesting it so that my money is working for me, so that I can pretty much be in escaping the digital rat race. I mean, I make enough money where I don't need to work, but I like helping people really escape the digital rat race too, because if you're constantly not having income that is predictable and that is recurring income, then you're going to constantly hustle for those one-time payments.
Constantly hustle.
Yeah, I mean, so for instance, like we took 2 weeks off, probably a month ago, to go to New Orleans, and I still had money coming in every single day because we had software and subscriptions, plus real estate and blah 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 blah. But a lot of people, if they get sick, they can't go on Facebook. They can't. let me rephrase that. If they are not running ads and doing it organically, if they don't have an email list, if they don't have blog posts, like all these ways that you're, if you're just doing one kind of thing and doing it organically on Facebook, then yeah, you are going to be constantly trying to make a new sale. It's like almost like a commission only job, like working a 9 to 5, but commission only, without the benefits, without the tax savings, without the healthcare, all that stuff. You're just online, and a lot of people don't even have an LLC where they can write their expenses off, like their internet, part of their home, that sort of thing. So, and I don't know how it is in the UK, but with an LLC, you definitely get a lot of advantages to that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're not your own business and you're not writing things off, then you're not reducing your taxable income, which more money's going away versus you keeping it. So, got to learn how business works too.
Yeah, over in the UK, we as self-employed individuals, we don't have to set up as essentially a business in terms of legalities, but we can still write stuff off as a self-employed person.
Is it as much though? Because I know, like, as a DBA, you can write some stuff off, but there's a limit versus someone who has like a corporation. We're able to write a lot.
No, there's no limit to what you can write off.
That's awesome.
Although once you get to a certain point of income, then you have to be VAT registered in the UK. Which at that point you might as well go the full route and set up a proper business.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's essentially no limits to being self-employed over here. You can write whatever you want off, the same as a business can. The only difference being is that there is some tax benefits to having a business if you get past a certain point, because you can essentially save a little bit of tax by passing it on to you via. It's complicated, but it's not much though. It's only like a couple of grand that you'd save if you set up a business once you get into higher figures.
Yeah, I mean, it all adds up. I mean, the more
it certainly does all add up. It certainly does all add up. So the digital real estate game. What is the digital real estate game, and what's it like being in the digital real estate game?
So digital real estate is essentially just something that pays you recurring income, just like rent. You can scale it much better than real estate, just because with real estate, you can only put in, I mean, there's legalities in a sense where I think you can only put 2 people to a room in real estate versus software, or if you're an affiliate marketer and you're doing affiliate stuff that is recurring, you can fit as many people in that software as you can. I mean, hundreds, thousands, millions, whatever that is. And it's predictable income. You're not having tenants call you up at 3 a.m. in the morning to fix a toilet. And at some point you can just do what I do kind of with real estate, is you hire a property manager. So that's like, instead of a property manager for real estate, you're hiring, your customer service team or chatbots, or you're handling it, and you don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can just have a little email that says, call us back in 24 hours, or we'll get back to you in 24 hours and respond to your bug report. So I call it digital real estate because rent is due every single month, and you're getting paid daily. So like with real estate, I can't raise my rents every single day or every single month, or give myself a raise every single month, because there's laws in that, but I can't fit any more people in that house. So with digital real estate or software, I'm able to put more and more people every single day, which is increasing the value of that software. And just with like real estate, the more that it increases in value, or the more subscribers you have, you can essentially flip that and sell it for a substantial amount of money, depending on how many subscribers or recurring income that you do have. So for instance, like the beginning of 2020, we came out with a piece of software, and it did really, really well. We had a few pretty good, decent amount of subscribers in there, and we ended up selling it to another development team who wanted a software like that for 5 figures. And we were able to, and it only took us like maybe 3 months. And during that time, we were able to collect recurring income. We substantially made a lot more than what it cost to make. And we were able to flip it in a sense. So just like you're flipping a house, you can flip digital real estate or software, and you're not having to pay capital gains on that. So there's a lot of other advantages. Like we develop software for people every single, not every single day, but we have a few new customers every single month that we make software for them. And just there's so many ways you can kind of slice it too. So like for instance, someone wanted it to white label our software, and we were able to sell it for 5 figures and then take 5% equity. So depending on how much, I guess, how high they build it or how much recurring income they make, we're going to be getting 5% of the gross revenue from that. So that just allows us to increase our cash flow without ever having to do any more work. I mean, we're going to do some maintenance on it because it's a white label software, but I mean, very little versus what we're going to be paid out in the next, 60 to 90 days. So it just allows us to be very creative with what we're doing with software. So it's a very fun game, and it allows you to make a substantial amount of wealth and then take that money and reinvest it into other income streams for long-term wealth.
So that's all fantastic and well and good. But can we just touch on the fact that passive income isn't easy? It's easy once you get going, but starting it isn't easy. Am I right in saying that?
I think it depends. So passive income, typically, I think there's a
misconception.
Yeah, misconception. That's a great word. For instance, when I first bought our first property, I needed to get the money. So I was training for probably a few years before I was able to save it up for my first property, probably a year actually. And then I took that money and reinvested it into passive income, which was real estate. But I was handling that property. So when I bought my first rental property, me and my wife went down to, actually she wasn't my wife at the time, she was my fiance maybe, and we went down and we met the person that was going to rent it. We closed on the property, and that weekend we were going to go and meet a lady that we lined up to rent it out. And so in doing so, we met her, and she told us this great story about how she just moved from her dad's house, who passed away, and they couldn't live in the property anymore, and because of just memories, and she had her 2 kids, and she was just so thankful. And we're like, oh, we're doing such a great thing. This is going to be amazing. We're helping people, have houses so that they're able to get on with their lives. And so we met her, we gave her the keys. She gave us the down payment. She gave us the deposit. She gave us the first month of rent. And we went out and celebrated that night. And so we had dinner together, me and my wife, fiance at the time. And we get a call at the end of our dinner, and she knew we were living in California, and she said, "Hey, Brandon, my mom, she's sick. We have to go and I have to leave tonight and go drive to California," which happens to be the same place where we lived. And so we're like, well, I mean, what do you want to do? She's like, is there any way we could void this lease out? I'm going to be living with her going forward, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, it's fine. We'll do that. I mean, I'm not here to ruin someone's day. So we voided the rent check. We took the deposit, and we said, give us the keys, we'll give you the return, here you go. And so we left. We stayed up at a hotel because we couldn't drive anymore that night because it was super early. It was like midnight at that time, and we were going to drive back like 6 hours to California. So I just had something on my mind. I was just like, you know what? Something just doesn't seem right. Like, no one has this bad of luck in like a matter of a couple of days. So I called a locksmith and I said, hey, Mr. Locksmith, can you change out the keys? We have emergency like locksmith, whatever. And so they went out and they changed up all the locks. And they're like, you can pick up the keys the next morning and you'll be good to go. And I was like, perfect. And so the next morning we went, got the keys, went to the house, and we tried and put the key in the lock, and it didn't work. And we're just like, man, like, are you guys sure you guys did this right, or what's going on? He's like, yep, we checked all the locks. We made sure all the keys worked, and they're good to go. And so I was like, awesome. And so I looked inside the keyhole, and there was a lock in there, a key that had been broken off. So the girl came back and tried to pretty much break in and become a squatter. So with that being said, like, that took time away from me, that took money, and being able to invest more money. So like, that wasn't passive at all. So then, another example is we had a handyman who fixed up all of our units for another property, and ended up taking $10,000 of our money and bounced. And so at that point I was like, you know what? I'm no longer going to do this. I'm not going to manage my properties. I'm going to hire someone. So now we have a property manager who handles everything. He sends us checks every single month, and essentially we pay him like 8% to 12% of the rents. And so we're constantly reinvesting our money into that, but now I don't have to do anything. So it is passive. So it really depends on you. You can make it as much as passive as you want, or as work you need, as much of your energy that you need to put in. But ultimately, there's going to be a price when it comes to passive income. Either you're paying with your time by building it out, by making so that it is passive, or you're paying money to make it passive. And so there is some kind of currency that is exchanged, and we decide to pay with money so that we can buy back our time. Because sure, we're getting 8% taken out, but we're buying back our time with that 8% instead of us having to essentially go check on the properties, go collect leases, and all that stuff. So if you had $100,000 down right now, you can buy a rental property, you can buy software, and you can hire a team to manage it for you. But essentially, there has to be some exchange of currency, if that's your time, if that's your money, to build out a passive income stream.
Interesting. Because there certainly is a massive misconception out there that you can get online, you can find an easy, automated, passive income stream for little no money down and little time effort.
You're not going to do well with that, because essentially you're going to have to learn how it all works. These money making machines. You're going to know how. You're going to learn how to drive traffic. You're going to have to learn how to get people in front of your offer, or you're going to pay for ads to do it for you and do testing and all that, or you're going to hire it out to someone and use their expertise and either have them run it for you and you take a percentage of it, or you're going to hire a mentor to get the kind of increase your learning curve in a sense, or decrease your learning curve rather, so that you can get results faster. So everything has a learning curve to it. So you can make money. Like, I made money online pretty quickly, but I invested my time. And then once I understand how the systems worked, and then understand how I can use leverage in other aspects. And I just continuously buy back my time. So I would not say at all that anything's passive. There has to be some kind of equity exchange.
Fantastic. So, do you want to just quickly tell the audience about the Digital Tycoon and how they can get involved with your fantastic software empire?
Thanks. Yeah. So Michael has a link in the description. It's scrolling right around here. Right here, visit michaelellisonline.com, go Digital Tycoon. So definitely check that out. And there'll probably be a link in the description of this video. So definitely check that out for getting access to that. But essentially, it's a product where we're able to, that we own. It allows people to resell our Facebook organic outreach software or CRM tool, so that you're able to really build out a lead list on Facebook, have a pipeline. That way you're able to really nurture your list. Like, I don't know how many messages I get a day. I can go on right now, and we've been on this call for 30 minutes, and I have 10 new people talking to me that have messaged me. So in 30 minutes, you can only do the math that after those 30 minutes, I'm going to have like 20. And if this is an hour or not, then I'm going to have 20 messages. So you can see how quickly people get dropped under each other. And, in a day, I'll have 100 messages. So trying to find that one person who said, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing, trying to find them and follow up with them is really difficult. So we created a CRM tool so that you're able to really reach out to them on autopilot by either setting up a automatic follow-up, by creating a tag, by setting up tags in Messenger, and you're able to kind of track that lead in your pipeline. And in doing so, you're able to, once you understand the software, you're able to sell it to other people. We make it so that you can white label it, and you're able to put your own branding on it so that you can add it to your offer, so that you can add it to whatever you're doing. You can sell it by itself. And we've actually had people like Rudy, who has combined it with his own offer, sold it for, I believe, $1,997 as a social media course. We have people like Rory, who sells it individually and sets it up with an affiliate program. We have people like Sarah, who are in network marketing, who add it as part of their downline. So there's a substantial way to different ways of combining the offer or leveraging it as your own software to make recurring income. Of course, there is going to be a learning curve. We have all the training that is pretty much that you need included in that. And then we also supply a sales funnel software. So if you use ClickFunnels or Kajabi or Lead Pages or whatever, One Pager, all these different softwares, we include a ClickFunnels on steroid software completely for free. So if you do have one of those, it pretty much makes it a no-brainer offer to. You actually lose money by not signing up with Michael's link. So definitely check that out if you want to start building a recurring income platform and leverage software to be your own digital tycoon.
So once again, guys, just in case you're listening on the podcast, that is michaelellisonline.com/go/digital tycoon. That will send you over to the Digital Tycoon sales page, where it'll run down all the details and essentially give you all the details that you need to know to make an informed decision. Essentially what it is, guys, is it's a reseller program to Brandon's social media CRM, which helps you automate organic Facebook traffic. And it's a really neat software. It's fantastic. It works perfectly well It's grand, and once you have learnt it, like I said, you can then go on and sell it to other people, or give it out as part of the offer. All the training's inside the tool itself, and you provide training as well in a membership site as well, don't you, Brandon?
Yeah, so we have it on our website, we have it in our Facebook group, and we have it in inside the tool itself. With the white label, you can actually change out your colors, change the logo, change everything, and you can actually build in your own training also, so that it's a complete white label for you.
And that's fantastic. So then you can start collecting recurring revenue, or add it to your existing offers as part of the deal and make it more enticing. If there's one question that I haven't asked you today, but I should have asked you, what would it be, and what would the answer be?
Oh, wow. Why haven't I subscribed to your podcast or your YouTube channel? And the answer is I'm going to go do it right now. And everyone listening should definitely subscribe and smash the like button, because it helps out with the podcast and the YouTube algorithm. So definitely smash the like button and share, because there's a lot of great little nuggets that you guys can take away from this episode. And definitely hit the like button and subscribe. So I would say that would be why you haven't asked me to subscribe. The answer is because I'm going to go do it right now.
Okay, fair enough. Good question, good answer. And just on a further note to that, so yeah, definitely take Brandon's advice on that. Subscribe, smash that like button, and just comment down below what's the one piece of takeaway advice that you've got from this episode. I would love to know your thoughts. It's been a pleasure having you on, Brandon. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And
I appreciate that.
For you guys at home, thanks for watching and thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great, wonderful day.